The year is still 2024, and back in October I was panicking just a little bit because the night temperatures had dropped to low levels that usually only come around mid and November. My angraecoids cannot handle the winter night temperatures here in southern Spain, and while they could handle the day temperatures, I am not moving them out on a daily basis for the 5 months, during which the night temperatures are below 13 degrees Celsius because, well, you will see. Thinking of having to move them indoors this soon was upsetting because indoors they do not get enough light to make them happy. So I figured what I would do is watch the forecast closely and leave the Crestwood outside for as long as possible, but cover it with a woolly blanket at night in the hopes that the temperatures become acceptable again for it to be outside just a little longer. So I tackled the easiest one, the variety bosseri, because if I got lucky and I could put this orchid outside again, then it would not be as hard a task as it would be for the Crestwood. It was great to see the first sign of a spike growing on the bosseri. Well pleased with that, even though I'm dreading the time of year when this orchid blooms out. So I had already pushed my luck with both these orchids because we had such heavy, consistent rain without much airflow. I was very concerned that something would go horribly wrong, stem rot, crown rot. It would not have surprised me, but everything looks to be just fine. So not pushing my luck anymore. At this stage of the shuffle, I try to get eyes on anything the roots are doing in the hedge, just to try and not damage any actively growing root tips in the process of pulling the orchid out. Even though they will stop growing once indoors, I like to keep them intact as much as possible. Also, let's have a quick growth comparison from back in April 2024 to October 2024. This leaf grew out to here and we have 2 more leaves on the go. Right, the moment of truth has arrived. Let's get her out of the hedge and I will try and add footage of April 2024 when I did the opposite, as in threading the roots into the hedge, which is always fun because this orchid is the easy one, the one that gets my courage up until it is time for the aerial roots of the Crestwood, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, this is great. Not many roots were lost during the summer and the standard expected new roots have grown. Older ones even branched, which is something this bosseri doesn't do readily. So the 2024 root growing season was successful, even though none of them grew downward into the orchid top, which is filled with a mix of ceramis and lava rock. And it is impossible to train these roots to do what I would prefer. They are concrete from the moment they grow out of the stem, and I just consider myself lucky that they grow in the deep south the way they do, because I have a super dry climate on top of all the other challenges when it comes to these angraecoids. Right, for October and the absolute flood carnage that was to hit us again, which at the time we had just been through the first event, she was safe and the Crestwood was under constant supervision. However, post-second flood event, the night temperatures leveled out and were back to normal as per what our fall temperatures should be, and bosseri went outside again. But I just put her on a chair, no threading of the roots into the hedge, and I just monitored the progress of her spikes. Yes, spikes. She eventually started pushing out a second spike. And the Crestwood grew a single spike throughout the torrential rain period. Now though, fast forward to December 2024, it was her turn to come out of the hedge, and I may not be doing much talking while I do that. I hope you enjoy what you see. Ah. Let's compare the April footage to the December footage. You can see that the roots had stopped growing through the winter months, and these wonderful root tips will do the same unless I can figure out how to get them into some water for the coming months. No roots were lost that I consider a huge problem, so yep, me likey mucho. And check out the second offshoot that has progressed nicely through the growing season. It's growing its own set of roots. Oh, this is just darling. Este me gusta mucho también. And check this out. At the beginning of winter of 2023, when the crestwood came inside, I marked where the leaf tip was at the apex of the growing point, and then marked it again in April of 2024. To show you how much this orchid slows down during my winter months and how little she grows in 4 months while indoors. Now, that leaf has grown to full size, and within 8 months of going outside, she grows so much. This is why I say it breaks my heart to bring these majestic orchids inside, containing them to the conditions that they would prefer not to have to deal with. It's like having something that wants to spread its wings but can't do so because they have been clipped. If I could still use my supplemental light, we would not be seeing these orchids grind to such a growth halt, and their size would already be at least another 30% compared to what they are now. Another unfortunate thing I have to do to protect the base of this orchid from any form of too high humidity and the threat of stem rot, as well as hiding places for possible pests other than my resident spider, this fern has to be brought under control. I have never seen this type in any of my pots before, and I actually really like it. It camouflages the bare Angraecum stems so beautifully, but it has got to go. At least the foliage. I won't pull the root system out because that may jeopardize the roots of the orchids. So anyway, it's just amazing. I love this visual so much. Just look at this beautiful growing point. Okay, one more luxury step that I can do still, and that is mist those roots one final time before she goes inside. Now, you see why I don't shift this orchid in and out every day on a sunny day during winter? Even though the temperatures would permit it, yeah, she is a monster. She is heavy, and those roots are a nightmare to try and keep intact even while I move her, never mind the thought of doing it every day. I have one more that I want to show you. She has done so well this season, and I'm looking forward to the 2025 season because my Jumellea arborescens has gone absolutely mental at the base with all her new side shoots. What a joy to watch this one just explode into something gorgeous. But Scale thought she is gorgeous as well. The tiny microscopic kind that I cannot see until I see the damage, and well, the past months have been me versus the Scale. The amount of activity with all these side shoots at the base has created a perfect setting for the Scale to go undetected, even though I think I'm looking at her from all angles. Clearly, I am not, I was not, so before she goes inside, a little bit of grooming is a must, and then it will be full-on supervision during the winter. But wow, just wow. What a pleasure it has been watching the side plants grow so fast. I got this orchid as a single fan, and that fan was smaller than her current larger side shoots are. This is how well she has progressed since she arrived on the patio in 2018, and of course, it's her time to grow roots actively as well, and now I am stopping her in her tracks with that as she struggles indoors for the coming months as well. Big meh. But look at those roots. Instead of the green kryptonite, which is what I call my angraecoid root tips, these are as golden as the root tips of a Dendrobium Victoria Regina are. They are just stunning. And it is possible that I will be threading her into the hedge come April 2025. By the way, Please subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so, because when these orchids move outside again, it is such a happy occasion for me. I would love for you to join me when that happens, so hitting the notification bell would be highly recommended. I'm always hoping to do it sooner. Maybe it can already happen in March 2025. And I have a really great time, and well, your support throughout the winter months would be greatly appreciated. Thank you for that, and thank you so much also if you have given this video a thumbs up. Know that my orchids and I appreciate you helping the channel out this way. I do not exaggerate when I say that we are desperate for the support. So thank you very, very much. If you have a moment to spare, come inside with me to see how they look and what I have thought of for the long crestwood roots. I have found a cooler, filled it with plain RO water, and have at least a few roots in that water or barely touching it. They may deteriorate throughout the coming months, but for now they're able to pull water up for the orchid, and then there is me hoping that filling the dish of the orchid top will be enough sustenance moving forward. And with all that being said and done, we are now on Angraecum Bloom Watch. Speaking of watch, thank you so much for watching this video to the end. I am going to go and have a sad, because this is not what I like to have to do, but you having watched to the end, I so appreciate you. And yes, you're welcome, that was a rhyme. Have yourself a wonderful day, on that one condition though, that you stay safe, please. I hope to see you in the next video. One that I have in the recommended card coming up, the video of when these orchids went outside in 2024. The countdown for that day to come in 2025 is now officially on. Take care. Bye.